Hello guys, hope you're doing good. So in today's video, we're going to look at the Sofirn SK30 tactical flashlight. So the flashlight comes in this very nice cardboard box. Let's open it, see what you get inside. So inside you get the flashlight in a nylon sheath, and you also get these extra accessories. So let's take a look at that. So you get this user manual with instructions with extra information concerning your flashlight. You get this USB-C charger, essential to charge your flashlight. And as I mentioned, you get this nylon sheath with a flashlight. So let's take a look at that nylon holder. It's pretty well constructed. It has a belt loop here that can be opened using this snap and Velcro. Has a metal D-ring so you can attach it to your backpack, for example. Has some elastication on the side to hold the flashlight in position, and it's held shut using this Velcro. So let's take a look at the flashlight. All right, so here are the dimensions of the flashlight. So the length is 140 millimeters or 5.5 inches, whereas the diameter here is 28 millimeters or 1.1 inches. It weighs 87 grams or 2.96 ounces. And it's made out of AL6061 type 6 aluminum. It's anodized, and I think it's only available in black. The flashlight itself can be carried in a nylon holder, but you also have this pocket clip, which is quite rigid. That's another option for carry. The bezel of the flashlight has these crenellations here. If you look at the reflector, it's smooth, so it should work very well with a good throw. If we look here, there's a charging port using the USB-C. So if we move to the tail cap, you see here you have slots for a lanyard, but more importantly, you have these dual switches. One that is the main switch to turn on the flashlight on, and the second to activate the different modes. So I find that very convenient. They're both accessible at the back of the flashlight. So I really like the fact that the mode button is independent from the on-off button. So that makes it more ideal to turn on the flashlight without switching modes. All right, so let's open it and take a look at the battery inside. So it opens through the front here. Here's the lithium battery we get. So this is a rechargeable 21700 battery, lithium ion, 3.7 volts with a 5000 milliamps capacity. So pretty good battery. So the battery compartment is sealed using this rubber O-ring. So the flashlight itself is well built, very rugged. As I mentioned, it's made of aluminum, has an IPX8 waterproof rating, so it's quite resistant to water, and it's also being drop tested to 1 meter. So one other feature of this flashlight that I like, so if you do a half click on the main button, you can directly have access to turbo mode if you need to use it for defensive purposes and blind somebody, for example. So that's something to keep in mind. So to access the strobe mode, you do a long press on the mode button. It'll activate the strobe. So this is useful if you in emergency, if you need to be found, for example. All right, so let's take it outside and look at the different light modes. Eco, low, medium, high, turbo mode, and the strobe mode. So overall, I really like this flashlight. I think it's a great mid-size flashlight. Has a lot of the features that I want, but none that I don't want. What I really like is these dual buttons at the tail cap. I really like the fact that the on-off is distinct from the mode button. So some flashlights, the main button does everything, and that's sometimes confusing. So in this situation, it's very easy to activate these different buttons. They have a different shape. They stick out differently, so you can instinctively know that this is the on button, this is the mode button, even without seeing them. Very easy to actuate. And the fact, I really like the number of modes they have. So some flashlights have way too many modes, too many colors, and it becomes confusing. Here we have the modes that we need. The echo mode when you need to be stealth, low mode when you need long-term illumination, and then you have the higher modes when you need to see further or with a brighter light. So I really like that. With just one strobe function, you don't have all these complicated modes. This is definitely a great light. I can highly recommend. So if you're interested to pick one up, I added the link in the description section of the video. All right, thanks for watching.